buddy Rick Dale, see if he can fix it up, and if he can, I just might keep it for myself. A few weeks ago, I dropped off the Nobel Prize, and you guys would sit around and say it's not shiny.
Rick Harrison, a name synonymous with the hit television show Pawn Stars, built his life around negotiation, resilience, and a keen eye for opportunity. As the owner of the gold and silver pawn shop in Las Vegas, he became a household name, not merely for his business acumen, but for his candid personality, sharp wit, and relatable struggles. Yet beneath the surface of his public persona lies a story marked by trials, heartache, and the heavy toll of success. The tragedy of Rick Harrison is a narrative as compelling as the deals he struck on screen, a testament to the complexities of fame, family, and personal sacrifice. Before we start, smash the like and subscribe buttons for more updates. Born on March 22, 1965 in Lexington, North Carolina, Rick's life was shaped early by adversity. As a child, he battled epilepsy, a condition that forced him to spend significant periods bedridden. While this could have been a limiting factor for many, Rick found solace and stimulation in books, particularly historical works and biographies. These formative years cultivated his sharp intellect and passion for learning, traits that later became hallmarks of his personality. But the isolation of his illness also laid the groundwork for a sense of detachment, a feeling of being an outsider that lingered even as he achieved fame. Rick's family faced financial difficulties during his childhood, a reality that would define his approach to life and business. His father, Richard "Old Man" Harrison, moved the family to San Diego and eventually to Las Vegas in search of stability. The younger Harrison inherited his father's entrepreneurial spirit, learning the value of hard work and perseverance. Together, they built the gold and silver pawn shop from the ground up in 1989, turning it into a thriving business in the heart of Sin City. But the road to success was anything but smooth, marked by sleepless nights, financial risks, and personal sacrifices. The pawn business was demanding, requiring sharp instincts and the ability to read people. Rick excelled in these areas, but the pressures of running the shop were relentless. Long hours took a toll on his personal life, contributing to the breakdown of his first marriage. His second marriage also ended in divorce, leaving Rick to navigate the complexities of fatherhood while balancing the demands of an expanding business empire. These personal struggles, though rarely visible to the public, were a significant part of his journey. Proof that even those who seem invincible on the surface carry deep emotional scars. In 2009, the launch of Pawn Stars brought Rick and his family unprecedented fame. The show's mix of humor, history, and human drama captivated millions, transforming the gold and silver pawn shop into a tourist hotspot. Rick, with his quick wit and encyclopedic knowledge, became the face of the series, while his father, son Corey, and longtime employee Chumley provided additional layers of charm and relatability. Yet the meteoric rise of Pawn Stars came with its own set of challenges, many of which weighed heavily on Rick's shoulders. Fame is a double-edged sword, and for Rick, the downside was a loss of privacy and the strain it placed on his relationships. As the show gained popularity, so too did the demands on his time and energy. What was once a family-run business became a global brand, with all the complications that entailed. The gold and silver pawn shop, once a place of relative anonymity, was now swarmed by fans and tourists eager for a glimpse of the stars they had come to love. For Rick, this meant not only managing the day-to-day operations of the shop, but also juggling media appearances, licensing deals, and the pressures of maintaining the show's success. One of the most poignant aspects of Rick's story is the loss of his father, Richard Harrison, in 2018. The Old Man, as he was affectionately known, was a cornerstone of the Harrison family and a central figure on Pawn Stars. His death marked a turning point for Rick, both personally and professionally. Losing his father was a deeply emotional experience, compounded by the responsibility of carrying on the family legacy without his guiding presence. The grief was further complicated by public attention, as fans mourned alongside the Harrison family, blurring the lines between private sorrow and public spectacle. The dynamics within the Harrison family also became a source of tension and tragedy. Fame and fortune have a way of amplifying existing conflicts, and the Harrisons were no exception. Disputes over money, business decisions, and personal priorities created rifts that were difficult to reconcile. Rick found himself at the center of these tensions, striving to maintain harmony while grappling with his own feelings of loss and responsibility. The burden of being the family's anchor weighed heavily on him, a role he embraced out of love, but one that came at a significant personal cost. Rick's challenges extended beyond the familial sphere. The world of reality television, while lucrative, is notoriously unforgiving. The pressure to keep the show fresh and engaging led to creative differences with producers and internal conflicts among the cast. Critics often accused Pawn Stars of becoming overly scripted, a far cry from the authentic, unscripted charm that had initially captivated audiences. Rick, as both the star and a co-producer, bore the brunt of these criticisms, working tirelessly to balance the demands of entertainment with the authenticity that had made the show a success. Despite these hurdles, Rick has remained a resilient figure, driven by an unwavering commitment to his family, his business, and his own personal principles. He has spoken openly about his struggles, using his platform to raise awareness about epilepsy and other challenges he has faced. His ability to adapt and persevere in the face of adversity is a testament to his character, a reminder that even in the midst of tragedy, there is room for growth and redemption. The story of Rick Harrison is ultimately a human one, filled with triumphs and setbacks, joys and sorrows. It is a narrative that resonates because it reflects the complexities of life itself, the interplay of ambition and sacrifice, success and loss, love and conflict. Through it all, Rick has remained a compelling figure, not because of his perfection, but because of his authenticity. His life serves as a reminder that behind every public persona lies a private journey, one that is often far more nuanced and challenging than it appears. For Rick, the tragedy is not merely in the difficulties he has faced, but in the weight of the expectations placed upon him by himself, his family, and the millions of fans who look up to him. Yet within this tragedy lies a profound strength, a determination to forge ahead despite the odds. Rick Harrison's story is one of resilience, a testament to the power of perseverance in the face of life's inevitable hardships. It is a story that continues to unfold, offering lessons in humility, courage, and the enduring value of human connection. Rick Harrison's story is one of complexity, nuance, and the constant push and pull between the public and private spheres. While the first chapter of his life was defined by struggle and the climb toward success, the latter has been marked by deeper challenges, both external and internal, that have added layers to his journey. To understand the full weight of Rick's life, it's essential to delve into the intricate dynamics of his world beyond the television cameras, the pawnshop counter, and even the public narrative crafted around him. The enduring pain of Rick Harrison's life isn't solely tied to his personal losses or family tensions. It is also rooted in the unique psychological toll of being both a businessman and a public figure. Success, especially when it comes suddenly and at such a high level, can be both a blessing and a curse. For Rick, the rapid rise to fame following Pawn Stars put him in uncharted territory. His days, which were once spent quietly negotiating deals and managing inventory, suddenly became filled with the chaos of fame. Appearances, interviews, brand partnerships, and the pressures of representing a family legacy on the global stage. The role of a reality television star is a peculiar one, blending entertainment with an assumed authenticity that viewers come to expect. Unlike actors, whose characters are distinct from their personal lives, reality stars often blur those lines, becoming the characters they portray on screen. For Rick, this meant that the public's perception of him, witty, sharp, and unflappable, became the version of himself he felt compelled to maintain in his daily life. Yet beneath the surface, the weight of constantly living up to that image was immense. The pawn shop philosopher, as he's often called, had to contend with his vulnerabilities in private, knowing that revealing them could risk alienating the audience who admired his strength and decisiveness. One of the quieter tragedies of Rick's life is the extent to which his identity became tied to the gold and silver pawn shop. While the business was undoubtedly his passion and lifeblood, its transformation into a global brand left little room for Rick to explore other facets of himself. The relentless focus on the shop, both as a physical space and as the setting for a television phenomenon, meant that Rick's world became increasingly narrow. For someone as intellectually curious as Rick, who spent his childhood devouring books and exploring history, this narrowing was both limiting and frustrating. The very success he worked so hard to achieve became a gilded cage, locking him into a role that left little room for personal growth or reinvention. As Pawn Stars evolved, the dynamics within the show, and by extension, Rick's relationships with those around him, shifted in significant ways. Initially centered on family and the bonds between its stars, the show's increasing focus on entertainment and dramatization sometimes came at the expense of authenticity. Tensions arose as the pressures of maintaining ratings clashed with the desire to remain true to the original spirit of the shop. Rick, as both a central figure and a co-producer, found himself navigating a delicate balance between appeasing the network's demands and protecting the integrity of the family business. This balancing act often placed him in conflict with his son Corey and longtime friend Chumley, whose personal lives and aspirations sometimes diverged from the collective vision of the show. These tensions were exacerbated by the inevitable strain of working so closely with family and friends. Rick's relationship with Corey in particular has been marked by moments of friction, as the generational divide between them played out both on screen and behind the scenes. While Corey inherited his father's business acumen, he also sought to carve out his own identity within the shop and the show. This desire for independence sometimes clashed with Rick's protective instincts and his own vision for the family legacy. Their dynamic became a microcosm of the larger challenges facing the Harrison family, a mix of love, loyalty, and the complexities of navigating fame and fortune together. The personal sacrifices Rick has made in the name of his business and family are often overlooked in the broader narrative of his success. His marriages, for example, suffered under the weight of his relentless work ethic and the all-consuming nature of the pawn business. While Rick has spoken candidly about his love for his children and his commitment to being a present father, the demands of his career often left little room for personal relationships to flourish. The dissolution of 2 marriages was a painful reminder of the toll that ambition and responsibility can take on one's personal life. For Rick, the question of whether those sacrifices were worth it is one that likely lingers, even as he continues to build on his achievements. The larger context of Rick's life also includes the societal and cultural shifts that have occurred during his time in the public eye. The pawn industry, once seen as a niche and somewhat disreputable corner of the business world, has undergone a significant transformation thanks in large part to the visibility provided by Pawn Stars. Rick played a key role in reshaping the narrative around pawn shops, emphasizing their historical and educational value. However, this newfound visibility also brought its own set of challenges, as increased scrutiny and competition forced Rick to adapt and innovate constantly. The evolution of the industry mirrored Rick's own journey, one of reinvention, resilience, and a relentless drive to stay ahead of the curve. Rick's intellectual curiosity and love of history, which were so prominently featured on Pawn Stars, also highlight another dimension of his life: his role as a storyteller and educator. Through the show, he introduced millions of viewers to the fascinating stories behind everyday objects, blending entertainment with education in a way that resonated deeply with audiences. This role allowed Rick to share a piece of himself with the world, giving viewers a glimpse into the passions and knowledge that defined him beyond the pawn counter. Yet, this too came with its own pressures, as the expectation to consistently deliver compelling stories added to the already immense burden of his responsibilities. Another tragedy that underscores Rick's journey is the paradox of success. The more he achieved, the more isolated he became. Fame, while opening doors to new opportunities, also created barriers between Rick and those around him. The constant attention, the demands of fans, and the unrelenting scrutiny of the media made it difficult for him to maintain genuine connections. For someone who built his career on the art of negotiation and interpersonal relationships, this isolation was particularly painful. The ability to connect with others, once a source of joy and fulfillment, became a double-edged sword as Rick navigated the challenges of being both accessible and guarded. Rick's story also serves as a reflection of broader societal themes, such as the pursuit of the American dream and the cost of success. His journey from a struggling entrepreneur to a global icon embodies the ideal of hard work and perseverance, but it also exposes the vulnerabilities and sacrifices that come with such a path. The weight of expectation, the loss of privacy, and the strain on personal relationships are all part of the hidden cost of achieving what so many aspire to. For Rick, the dream he chased came with a price, a reminder that even the most successful among us are not immune to the challenges of life. In recent years, Rick has begun to step back from the spotlight, focusing more on his personal well-being and the future of his family and business. This transition marks a new chapter in his life, one that is less about building and more about preserving and reflecting. As he navigates this phase, Rick remains a figure of inspiration and complexity, a man who has faced immense challenges with grace and determination, yet continues to grapple with the contradictions of his success. The tragedy of Rick Harrison, then, is not a single event or loss, but a tapestry of experiences that speak to the human condition. It is the story of a man who has achieved incredible success, but who, like all of us, has faced the trials of life with a mix of strength and vulnerability. It is a story that reminds us of the value of resilience, the importance of authenticity, and the enduring power of human connection. Through his journey, Rick has shown that even in the face of tragedy, there is always room for hope, growth, and the possibility of a brighter future. Rick Harrison's life is a narrative of relentless perseverance, a journey shaped by challenges, triumphs, and the deep, often unseen complexities that come with fame and fortune. Beyond the cameras, contracts, and the neon lights of Las Vegas, his experiences reveal a rich tapestry of emotions and struggles, underscoring the personal cost of his public persona. The layers of his story extend far beyond what viewers of Pawn Stars have come to know, offering a profound look into the realities of his life and the burdens that accompany success. One of the most poignant aspects of Rick's journey is how he has grappled with the delicate interplay between legacy and personal identity. For decades, the Gold and Silver Pawn Shop stood not only as a business, but as a symbol of his family's ambition, resilience, and determination to rise above adversity. From the very beginning, Rick worked tirelessly to establish the shop as more than just a place to trade goods. It became a community landmark, a hub of history, and a space where stories were traded alongside treasures. Yet as the shop grew into a global phenomenon, its identity became inseparable from Rick's own, blurring the lines between personal ambition and professional responsibility. The shop's transformation into a tourist destination brought with it significant changes. What had once been a relatively quiet enterprise driven by day-to-day negotiations became a bustling epicenter of fan activity. The constant flow of visitors eager to meet Rick and the Pawn Stars cast members turned a once intimate business into a spectacle. For Rick, this shift was bittersweet. On the one hand, it affirmed the success of his hard work and the show's impact on popular culture. On the other, it marked the end of a simpler, more grounded way of life. The hustle and bustle of fame created a sense of distance from the core values that had driven Rick to open the shop in the first place: his love for history, his fascination with unique objects, and his genuine interest in people's stories. This tension extended into Rick's relationship with time itself. As a businessman and television personality, his days became a whirlwind of commitments, leaving little room for introspection or relaxation. The hours he once spent immersing himself in books or learning about obscure historical artifacts were gradually replaced by filming schedules, media appearances, and the logistical demands of managing a burgeoning empire. The loss of this personal time was not only a sacrifice of leisure, but also a deeper surrender of the intellectual pursuits that had fueled his passion and curiosity throughout his life. The rise of Pawn Stars also introduced a new layer of complexity to Rick's relationships with those closest to him. The camaraderie between Rick, his father, his son Corey, and friend Chumley was one of the show's central appeals, presenting a dynamic that viewers found both entertaining and relatable. However, the intense pressures of maintaining a hit television series inevitably created fractures. Professional disagreements, creative differences, and the strain of constant scrutiny began to test the bonds that had once seemed unshakable. For Rick, navigating these challenges required a delicate balance of leadership, compromise, and emotional resilience. One of the more understated tragedies in Rick's life has been his struggle to preserve authenticity in an increasingly commercialized world. The charm of Pawn Stars lay in its blend of humor, history, and human connection. As the show grew into a massive franchise with spin-offs, merchandise, and international adaptations, the pressure to maintain its authenticity became a daunting task. Rick often found himself at the center of this struggle, striving to uphold the values that had made the show special while adapting to the demands of a global audience. This balancing act was not merely a professional challenge, but a deeply personal one, as it forced Rick to confront the tension between his love for the craft and the expectations of an ever-growing empire. The psychological toll of these challenges is not something that can be easily quantified. For Rick, the weight of responsibility extended beyond the business and into his role as a cultural figure. As the face of Pawn Stars, he became a symbol of resilience and ingenuity, a modern embodiment of the American dream. Yet, this role came with its own set of expectations, as fans and the media projected their own ideals and narratives onto him. The pressure to live up to these expectations often left Rick in a state of emotional conflict, torn between his public image and his private struggles. One of the lesser-known aspects of Rick's life is his enduring battle with self-doubt. Despite his confident demeanor and sharp negotiating skills, Rick has spoken candidly about the moments of uncertainty that have punctuated his career. These doubts were particularly acute during the early days of Pawn Stars, when the idea of turning a pawn shop into a television phenomenon seemed like a long shot. Even as the show gained traction, Rick often questioned whether he was making the right decisions for his family, his business, and himself. This vulnerability, though rarely visible on screen, is a reminder that even the most successful individuals grapple with their own insecurities. Rick's journey also highlights the evolving nature of leadership in the face of rapid change. As the head of the Harrison family and the Gold and Silver Pawn Shop, he has had to adapt to shifting dynamics, both within his family and in the broader business landscape. The rise of e-commerce, for example, introduced new challenges for traditional brick-and-mortar businesses like his, forcing Rick to innovate and rethink his approach. At the same time, the growing influence of social media and digital platforms transformed the way fans engaged with the shop and the show, creating new opportunities but also new pressures. Beyond the shop and the screen, Rick's role as a father has been one of his most significant and challenging responsibilities. Raising children in the spotlight of fame is no small feat, and Rick has worked tirelessly to provide stability and guidance for his sons. Corey, as both a co-star on Pawn Stars and a key figure in the family business, has had to navigate his own path under the weight of his father's legacy. For Rick, supporting Corey's growth and independence has been a delicate balancing act, as he strives to empower his son while ensuring the family's values remain intact. Rick's relationship with his other children, particularly those outside the public eye, also speaks to his efforts to maintain a sense of normalcy amidst the chaos of fame. While the world knows him as a reality TV star, his role as a father is one that he holds with deep pride and commitment. Yet, like many parents, Rick has faced moments of doubt and regret, questioning whether he has been able to give his children the time and attention they deserve. These reflections underscore the universal struggles of parenthood, amplified by the unique challenges of Rick's life in the spotlight. Another facet of Rick's journey is his enduring love for history and storytelling. Even as the demands of fame have consumed much of his time, Rick has remained passionate about preserving and sharing the stories of the past. This passion is evident not only in his work on Pawn Stars, but also in his broader efforts to educate and inspire others. From hosting historical events to supporting educational initiatives, Rick has used his platform to foster a deeper appreciation for history among his audience. These efforts reflect a side of Rick that is often overshadowed by his on-screen persona, a man driven by a genuine desire to make a lasting impact. The financial pressures that accompany success are another element of Rick's story that often goes unnoticed. While Pawn Stars and the Gold and Silver Pawn Shop have been immensely profitable, the costs of maintaining such a large-scale operation are significant. From managing staff and inventory to navigating the complexities of licensing and merchandising, Rick's financial responsibilities extend far beyond what the average viewer might imagine. These pressures have required him to be not only a skilled negotiator but also a shrewd strategist, constantly seeking ways to adapt and grow in an ever-changing market. Rick's ability to find balance amidst these challenges is a testament to his resilience and resourcefulness. Despite the setbacks and sacrifices he has endured, he continues to approach life with a sense of purpose and determination. Whether through his work at the pawn shop, his role as a father, or his efforts to give back to the community, Rick has demonstrated an unwavering commitment to the values that have guided him from the beginning. Rick Harrison's life is not just the story of a man who turned a struggling pawn shop into a global sensation. It is also a testament to the intricate dance between ambition and the human spirit. Beyond the glossy allure of fame, his journey reveals the struggles, triumphs, and lessons of a man navigating the labyrinth of public life, personal responsibilities, and his enduring love for history. Each new phase of his life, each new challenge he has faced, adds another layer to a story that resonates far beyond the confines of Las Vegas or the walls of the gold and silver pawn shop. Rick's world, while shaped by the spotlight, has always been deeply rooted in his ability to connect with others. At the heart of his story is his ability to see value where others may not, whether it's in an old coin, a dusty guitar, or the lives of the people who walk through his shop's doors. This unique perspective is both a gift and a burden, as it requires not only an astute eye but also a deep well of empathy and patience. Over the years, Rick has become a steward of untold stories, transforming objects into portals of human experience. This role, however, has demanded emotional stamina, as he's often had to balance the interests of his customers, his business, and the broader expectations of his audience. One of the most significant challenges Rick has faced is the evolution of the pawn industry itself. Long before Pawn Stars catapulted the gold and silver pawn shop into international fame, the business of pawning was often misunderstood or stigmatized. Rick worked tirelessly to break down those misconceptions, positioning his shop as a place of opportunity and historical significance rather than one of last resort. This transformation was no small feat, requiring Rick to continually educate both customers and the public about the true nature of his work. He became, in a sense, an ambassador for the industry, using his platform to elevate its reputation and legitimacy. Yet this advocacy came with its own pressures, as Rick shouldered the responsibility of representing an entire profession on a global stage. Another dimension of Rick's journey is his relationship with the past, not just his personal history, but the broader tapestry of human history that he has always been so passionate about. Rick's fascination with history is not merely academic. It is deeply personal, rooted in his own experiences of hardship and resilience. Growing up, his love for learning offered him solace and inspiration, helping him navigate the challenges of living with epilepsy and the financial struggles of his family. This passion would later become a cornerstone of his career, as he transformed his shop into a living museum of sorts, filled with artifacts that tell the stories of different eras, cultures, and lives. However, the demands of his dual role as a businessman and television personality have often left little room for Rick to indulge in this passion as deeply as he might wish. The rapid pace of filming, negotiating deals, and managing his empire can sometimes feel at odds with the reflective, inquisitive nature that defines his relationship with history. In quieter moments, Rick has expressed a longing to reconnect with that side of himself, to once again immerse himself in the study and appreciation of the past without the distractions of cameras and contracts. This tension between the practicalities of his work and the intellectual pursuits that fuel his soul is one of the quieter, more poignant struggles of his life. Family has always been a central theme in Rick's story, shaping both his personal life and his professional endeavors. The dynamic between Rick and his late father, Richard "Old Man" Harrison, was not only a key element of Pawn Stars, but also a deeply formative influence on Rick's character. The old man was a figure of authority and wisdom, instilling in Rick the values of hard work, resilience, and integrity. Their relationship, while sometimes marked by disagreements and generational differences, was ultimately one of mutual respect and love. The loss of his father in 2018 was a profound moment in Rick's life, marking the end of an era both for the shop and for his own journey. This loss also underscored the challenges of carrying forward a family legacy while carving out his own path. For Rick, the gold and silver pawn shop is more than a business. It is a living testament to his family's perseverance and vision. Balancing this legacy with his own ambitions has required Rick to make difficult decisions, some of which have strained relationships with his children and other family members. Corey, in particular, has often found himself at the crossroads of these tensions as he works to assert his independence while honoring the foundation his father and grandfather built. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, leave your comments below and tell us, what are your thoughts on Rick Harrison's tragedy? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching and see you next time.